Hello, it's a Sunday afternoon in the month of August. A few issues to go through just like this. You catch me usually on Dawn 2030, which is my new channel. Seems like these buggers of YouTube do not like the truth. When they do not like the truth, they don't want people to know certain things. Let's get straight in. Maverick, the Russian minister. He was talking about Russia has the legal right to use tactical or strategic weapons because it's part of their constitution. I think it's all a part of their nuclear doctrine in every country, basically. But he emphasised a thing about NATO. Yugoslavia and Serbia, you should be asking yourself what the hell these two countries have got to do with nuclear weapons. Well, they got nothing to do with nuclear weapons, but weapons with uranium plated materials were used. I know for sure this occurred in Yugoslavia for sure, because it was big news afterwards, because here in Italy it was NATO standard and ammunition, this type of uranium plated tip bullets or whatever they are. And unfortunately, the military personnel at that time on service in these missions there were not told what it was and what this ammunition was consisted of materials kept in the dark. And obviously, sometime back, many ex-military came back to Italy, and mysteriously they start, to die of a strange illness. It was some type of leukemia or cancer. Since they got it in 18 months, they were 6 foot underground in a coffin. And these mysterious deaths led to some type of inquiry. And obviously they established that people were dying of some type of radioactive poisoning. And he goes, and they were scratching their heads. Where the hell they were exposed to such elements? And it comes to these uranium-plated ammunition or components used in weapons at that time, because it was standard equipment at that time, I know. And in the end, the Italian government didn't want to disclose any information about these things. Public inquiry was opened, and found out the Italian Ministry of Defence, the military boss, never informed the soldiers of the dangers of these things, and they kept it as a secret. And obviously, the families of these dead servicemen, due to this radioactive poisoning, is a bit strange. They're probably exposed to a quantity which in a short period of time you can get ill and die. And in the end, the Italian government were taken to court, sued, and found guilty to compensate the victims of these families. I think there were roughly about 50 or 60 people, official cases, There could have been more. And it goes to show sometimes you put your line on, how do you say, on line of duty, give it to a country. It's not the country which screws you, it's your government. And that's how it went. At that time, it was, I think it's more than 20 years ago it happened. Yeah, it did. I remember the Italian press and TV were covering this. It was big news. Well then, push on to recent things. I reckon the most absurd thing. The city of Miami is, I don't know how they're going to do this. They're going to, all the illegal weapons they managed to collect or seize, they won't be destroyed, which by American law they should be. They will give it to Ukraine. And Biden and another cunt, Trudeau, slowly they're taking the rights of citizens to possessively legally own a weapon for personal defence. A Second Amendment, you can own a weapon to defend yourself, even from any event of a tyrant government. Think of becoming, a tyrant and imposing their martial laws or limiting freedoms and all that stuff. It's absolutely ridiculous in that situation. And now, obviously, we've got the Pentagon, which are waking up now, and they emphasise now it's very important we must trace where these weapons go. So far, billions and billions of dollars worth of hardware get blown up or just disappeared in the thin air. Obviously, we've been hearing they will continue to send more. It's a lost cause in Ukraine, and they don't seem to realise. I think they are realising, but they're not going to say it due to public outrage. You want the whole nation, or all these nations and the Western collective. I think they just want them to gather up consent for a possible event of war against Russia. This has happened in the past. First World War, Second World War, and the Americans entered only in Second World War after bombing of Pearl Harbor. And mostly there is controversial evidence. The Americans at that time knew about the Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor was coming. The Secret Service at that time, well informed, well in advance, the president of that at that time, for some reason or not, ignored it. It's just only a motive to declare war on Japan and so on. So we must be careful, because our governments, with this Ukraine thing, energy crisis, or other things they fabricate, they want to fool us into, get us into a big, drag us into some type of war or something. Because to legitimise them to do it, they need public consent. You invent something to obtain the consent, you lie, you cheat, and tell porkies to the public, and there you are. It's done.